In Amtrak's entire 50-year history, it has never had a single profitable year, even though over 31 million people ride Amtrak each year. Before we can discuss why Amtrak runs in the red, we first have to discuss its history. In late 1970, Amtrak was created as a for-profit, quasi-government-run intercity rail system. It was a consolidation of many different passenger railroads that were unprofitable freight-owned passenger railroads. Amtrak's creation led to freight railways to shed their passenger services. However, the services continued to be unprofitable. The US government thought that in 1 to 2 years Amtrak would turn a profit. However, 50 years later, the government has yet to see a positive cash flow from Amtrak. Amtrak's services are made up of 3 main classifications: intercity, state-owned, and the Northeast Corridor. Amtrak has a total of 15 intercity routes, such as the California Zephyr or the Empire Builder. These intercity routes are deeply unprofitable because on average they lose $120 per passenger. This means that on average, long-distance routes make back less than half of their operating expenses. Long-distance routes have higher operating costs compared to their state-owned and Northeast Corridor counterparts. They usually have high delays as they operate on slow freight tracks where they don't have a priority. This causes Amtrak trains to be stuck behind the slower trains, causing delays and slow speeds. This obviously discourages people from riding Amtrak on these routes. Due to this, minus operating cost, Amtrak only generates $39 per mile on their long-distance routes per train. These routes are unprofitable and don't make sense, especially in the wake of air travel. State-owned routes are a bit better, such as the Surfliner or Capital Corridor, making back over 90% of their cost. This amounts to $6 per passenger being lost. This is still not great, however, it is certainly drastically better than Amtrak's intercity routes. The Northeast Corridor is Amtrak's saving grace, connecting the Northeast's largest cities. Amtrak own these tracks and therefore have priority and don't have to rent the tracks. On average, Amtrak makes $43 per passenger, amounting to a 166% return on operating costs. This singular corridor houses Amtrak's 2 only profitable routes, the Northeast Regional and the Acela, the latter of which being the United States' only high-speed rail line. This is Amtrak's only line which is electrified, which allows for fast and efficient trains, increasing speed while reducing operating costs. This single corridor makes so much money that before the pandemic, it almost made Amtrak profitable. This corridor is vital for Amtrak because it is the only thing that keeps Amtrak running. Without it, Amtrak would be long gone. The TLDW of this is that Amtrak's long-distance routes lose tons of money and are basically the main reason why Amtrak is so unprofitable. Hopefully, Amtrak's ridership will rise to pre-pandemic levels, giving way to getting the company back on track. Since it came so close to being profitable, Amtrak will hopefully become profitable for the first time in the near future. Thanks for watching.